It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 23.
Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather, snow, and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a three-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Second down, and it's Kamara again. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing, Dalton. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action now, Dalton. And this one is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. To throw here, Dalton. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Dalton operating in the red zone now. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! Alvin Kamara, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Now for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 39, Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards there and a 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Eagles are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. These two teams all tied after 1. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Kamara gets it again on second down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Dalton now to pass. And this one complete to Smith. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And he's got room. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. So Dalton now. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Trying the left side with Kamara. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Dropped just inside the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara, and they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough, and now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The kick by Lutz is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is caught by Watkins. Finding room at midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. That's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Hurts going to keep it again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. And he comes back with one complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Dalton. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here. That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And the tight end is certainly in position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
On 1st down, Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Sanders, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff in the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. To throw here, Dalton. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive. Hurts. And that's complete to Sanders. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run here with Sanders. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints 38. Now whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd, 3rd levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Going across the middle, and Goddard's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a First and 10 at the 11. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. Touchdown, Eagles! Miles Sanders, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Hey, Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Dalton, first and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Now Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. This will be Dalton again. And this is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Complete. It's Johnson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Being chased out left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fourth down, Dalton wants to throw. Olave over the middle. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.